In this tutorial, we'll walk through setting up a Samsung Digital Signage display for use with an external player connected over HDMI 1. We want full, manual control over when and how the display turns on and off. We don't want the display making its own decisions based on internal timers or power-saving features. Let's get started. First, we'll perform a factory reset to make sure we're working from a clean slate. Grab your remote and press the following buttons in sequence: Power off, mute, 1, 8, 2, and then power on. The service menu will appear. Select the first option, then choose Factory Reset. Wait a few seconds and press Power on. The display will now boot into the initial setup wizard. Start by selecting your preferred language. For this demonstration, we'll continue in English. For installation type, since we don't have a backup USB to restore from, select Basic Setup. Next, set your display orientation. In our case, we'll choose Landscape. Now we come to an important setting, Auto Power Off. Set this to off. We're going to control the display externally via HDMI-CEC or MDC commands, so we don't want it shutting itself down on a timer. As a general rule with signage, we never want the display doing anything time-based on its own. We want full control at all times. On the next screen, the display will ask you to set up an internet connection. A wired connection is heavily preferred and should be used whenever possible. If you only have Wi-Fi available, go ahead and connect to your access point here. For Play Via, since we're not using the internal player, simply press the right arrow key to skip past it. When prompted to connect to a Magic Info server, select Skip. For Clock Set, you can use the number buttons on your remote to enter the values quickly. Once the wizard completes, the display will show the Home horizontal menu. Close it by pressing back on the remote. Now press the menu button on the remote. Navigate to System, then Auto Source Switching. Make sure this is set to off. We don't want the display jumping between inputs on its own. Next, go into Power Control. Auto Power On can be set to on. However, maximum power saving must be off. Standby control can remain on. And critically, set remote configuration to on. This is essential. It allows you to control the display over the local network even when it's powered off. Many players handle this automatically from the device. Back out and go into the Eco Solution menu. Set energy saving mode to off. And set no signal power off to off as well. Again, we don't want the display making any power decisions on its own. Now open the General menu and activate AnyNet Plus, which is Samsung's name for HDMI-CEC. This is what allows the external player to control the display over the HDMI cable. You can now exit the menu. Press the Home button on the remote and go to Device ID Settings. Set the device ID to your preference. Set PC connection to RJ45 LAN/Wi-Fi and press Done. Now go ahead and check the network status and IP settings. Take note of the IP address. In our example, it's ending with 0.160. Write this down. This is the address you'll use to communicate with the display. If you're deploying into a corporate network, consult your system administrator about IP addressing and make sure your setup complies with company security policy. The display itself does not need internet access to be managed, but it does need to communicate over the local LAN. Optionally, you can set on and off timers, for example, to match your store's opening and closing hours. Finally, we strongly recommend cloning the product configuration as a backup. Format a USB flash drive to FAT32, plug it into the USB port on the display, and from the Home menu, select Clone Product. With this backup saved, next time you set up the same or a similar model, you can restore the entire configuration in seconds instead of repeating these steps. And that's it. Your Samsung Signage display is now configured for full external control via HDMI 1 with all internal timers and power-saving behaviors disabled. The display will do exactly what your player tells it to. Nothing more, nothing less. That's exactly how a professional signage deployment should behave. Next, you can set up your preferred content player device. Thanks for watching. Is there anything we should cover in the upcoming videos? Let us know down in the comments.